Regarding capacity classification, we have the theoretical capacity, that is the maximum production rate under ideal conditions. We have the effective capacity or expected capacity, which is the production rate adjusted for idle time and other factors. We have the use capacity, which is the production rate actually used, and we have the throughput rate. Let's talk a little bit about here with an example, so as to make this a little bit more tangible. Let's say, for example, that a woman can have a usual, and we're talking here for just an example, that she will have 30 years of reproductive life, between 15 years and 45. Now, 30 years, and I'm going to be approximate, times 12 eggs that are liberated each month, which would give us 360 eggs that could be fertilized. Well, we all know that it is impossible for any woman to have 360 children. So, if we take all the limitations into account, let's say that at a reasonable rate, a woman could have one children every 2 years. And that would mean that instead of having 30 years of children, we could have one every 2 years, would mean that she could have 15 children throughout her, let's say, usable or through her fertility life. However, the actual rate is not 15 children. Most couples have only 2 children. So that automatically gives us that use capacity would be 2 divided by 15. And the throughput rate is exactly this, which comes out to 13.33% of the effective capacity, not of the theoretical capacity. We cannot use the 360 for our measures, because that is, remember, under ideal conditions. And ideal conditions do not happen in reality. What kind of factors affect our ability to install capacity? Well, demand volume, type of demand, product life cycle, localization, supply of inputs, technology, financing, political, economical, society, whatever. As always, the factors that affect your critical success factors. Always remember that everything revolves around these, the critical success factors. A lot of people said, why doesn't IKEA come to Bolivia, for example? We would love to have the same prices and product the product scope and range that IKEA brings. Yes, but it happens that Bolivia is not a big market that could withstand a store of the size of IKEA. So everything revolves around the conditions. Now, what factors affect our capacity usage? Well, for example, the setup. How much time do we need to prepare our process to work properly? Or our machine to produce something? The bottlenecks and the hidden factory. Remember this term. The hidden factory is the fraction of a plant that's diverted to reprocess or replace defective units. So if you're producing with a lot of defective units, your capacity actually grows smaller and your efficiency goes down. So now, as to close all this, what are the key points that we have talked about during this video? We have talked about the strategic approaches. Yes, remembering that they are the process focus, the repetitive, the product focus, the mass customization. We have talked about the techniques to improve service productivity. We have talked about process reengineering, remembering that in order to have a reengineering, first we need to have engineering in the process. We have talked about equipment and technology selection, remembering always that the best and only technology that you need is the one that you can use. We have talked about capacity. What is capacity? We have talked about the capacity classification. We have talked about the factors that affect the ability to install capacity and the factors that affect the capacity usage. I thank you, and I hope to see you in our next video of this series.